Forget the stats, today we're looking at the impossible, like a player who scored 45 points in one match, and teams with winning streaks that outlasted governments. These are the craziest records in rugby that will probably never be broken again.
And that's exactly what has happened.
Starting with the highest winning margin we'll probably never see again. Everyone talks about the All Blacks versus Japan in 1995, but that wasn't even close. For the largest winning margin, we travel back to the 2003 Rugby World Cup, where Australia defeated Namibia.
And it's going to be the opening try.
Everyone expected the Wallabies to win, but nobody expected total humiliation.
Good hands, Gitto. I like Gitto, he's got his good ball skills.
22 tries, or about one try every 3 minutes. Namibia barely had the ball, and the final score read 142-0. But that's nothing compared to a game where the ref just kept on giving cards. It's 2025, Ireland versus South Africa in a mouth-watering game. The whole world is watching, expecting a clash of titans, and that's exactly what they got.
From the bunker, the yellow card will be upgraded to a 20-minute red card.
Red cards, yellow cards. Matt Carley was handing them out like candy. In the end, 6 cards were handed out, 5 to the Irish and 1 to the Springboks. A horror show in the Aviva, and so much controversy that pressure was put on World Rugby to find a solution. But what about someone scoring a try before the fans even get to sip their beer? It was the 1999 Five Nations, Scotland versus Wales. The referee blew his whistle to start the game. But instead of Wales gathering the ball, it was all Scotland, specifically John Leslie. 9.56 seconds. Some fans didn't even get to their seats yet. But a record that we'll rarely see again is the heaviest player. Modern rugby players have top-quality physical conditioning, but in the 90s you had many different body types. One man who stood heavier than them all was Bill Kavubati, or Big Bill as they called him. 167 kilograms. That's 368 pounds. He was a human boulder. But with the game speeding up, we are unlikely to see this again. Almost like this record that's still ongoing. Moving to the world of women's rugby, there is one team that has destroyed everyone in their path. Since losing to the Black Ferns in 2022, the Roses have gone 33 games unbeaten. They've won the World Cup, the Six Nations.
McDonald's broken away. Will this be given as McDonald's?
But as the margins tighten, we are unlikely to ever see this again. And it was proven in the men's game. Back in 2015 and 2016, New Zealand went on a streak, winning 18 consecutive games. They even won the World Cup. But during that same time, England went on a streak, also racking up 18 wins.
Acres of space. The Harlequins full-back racing over for what looked like a knockout.
They took the Grand Slam and destroyed everyone, but every team has a weakness, and for both the All Blacks and Roses, it was the Irish. But it's unlikely we'll ever see that record again. The Springboks are the most dominant side in world rugby, but they cannot even go a single season unbeaten. Speaking of the Springboks, they hold the most efficient record in World Cup history. The Boks have only played in 8 World Cups, making it to the final on 4 occasions. That's already a 50% record. But here is the real record.
For the steal here, right at the end of this test match. But it's over! It's over!
No matter how close the game gets, the Boks have never lost a final. This is a record that will likely never be broken again. Almost like the player who played in 5 World Cup tournaments.
Van der Westhuizen, up over halfway he goes. Oh! What about the tackle from Brian Lima?
We called him the chiropractor for a reason, but what many people don't know is that Brian Lima played in the 1991 World Cup. 1995. 1999.
Greg Smith, but Samoa still attacking, and Samoa have scored.
2003.
Lovely inside pass, and the man freed in the end. Palapoi.
And then, he even played in 2007. But given the competition in modern rugby, it is highly unlikely we'll ever see something like this again. It's like the GOAT himself, Dan Carter. We always ask, who's the best number 10? Johnny Wilkinson? Handra Pollard? But the answer is simple, it is Dan Carter. He's won 2 World Cups, 3 Player of the Year awards, but there's one record that will never fall. That's 1,598 points in a career. Johnny Wilkinson, failed. Handra Pollard, failed. Only one man is the king of points, and that is Daniel Carter. But if you want to see something crazy, you should see this incredible record. With modern rules, every player eventually finds themselves on the naughty seat. Even the great Eben. But not this French star.
Jerry Collins, Duchatois with a good tackle on Collins. Jerry Collins in a bit of paint.
The former French captain played 80 tests. Yeah, 80 test matches without receiving any card. And he even has the record for the most tackles in a World Cup game. Nowadays, both these records will be impossible. High-definition cameras and TMO reviews mean that even the slightest misstep is picked up. But scoring points is always important, and one of the most underrated ways is the drop goal. If you think of the drop goal, you think of Johnny Wilkinson.
Glory! Yes! It's over! He's done it! Johnny Wilkinson!
Maybe George Ford. But there's only one king of the drop goal. I'm talking 5 in one game.
Got the distance. Over it goes again!
That's in a World Cup match. But nowadays, the drop goal is used just once or twice a game. So, we've seen kickers, tacklers, and even heavyweights. But what about the most tries in a rugby career? To everyone, the try-scoring record belongs to Brian Habana. The Box scored 67 tries in 124 tests. But if you look at who has scored the most international tries, it is a Japanese guy you probably never heard of.
Very quick. Excellent score.
That man is Daisuke Ohata, a Japanese winger who scored 69 tries in 58 tests. Unfortunately, he is rarely credited, with pundits citing weaker opposition throughout his career. But it's unlikely the record will ever be broken. The turnstile of rugby players currently is just too high. Almost like this next one, which will be rare to recreate. While red cards are more common nowadays, they usually get referred to the review panel first. But in 2019, Dan Evans copped the fastest ever red card. Just 37 seconds, and the hand went into the pocket.
That's the wrong phrase to use, but
Red! Worst of all, it was his return from injury, but the ref gave him 80 more minutes of rest in the sin bin. We might never see that again, but this next record is something a young South African would love to break. Sasha recently scored 37 points in one game. But in 1995, one man set a record that will likely never be broken. The man is Simon Culhane, playing instead of Andrew Mertens. But as the All Blacks ran riot over Japan, Culhane just kept converting. At the end of 80 minutes, the final score was 145-17. Culhane kicked 20 conversions, even scoring a try himself. That's 45 points by a single player in a rugby game. And guess what? It has been standing for more than 30 years. Even the man with the most caps ever has never even come close. In the modern era, getting to 100 caps is special. The competition is higher and injuries are more common. But Alan Wynne-Jones defied all those odds. He played 158 caps for Wales and 12 for the Lions. That is a total of 170 international caps, including 5 World Cup appearances. But as the competition in international rugby ramps up, this is another record that is unlikely to ever be broken. But records are made to be broken. In fact, they never last forever. Which of these records do you think will ever be broken? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to see something incredible, check out the 12 rugby players who ruined their careers. See you in the next one.